Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 677 of the iBUG Buzz. Today is Monday, March 24th, 2025, and I'm Pete Lane, and I'll be facilitating our call tonight. Just wanted to say hi to everybody who's joining us live or to those of you who may be picking us up via a recorded podcast. The iBUG Buzz is a weekly open forum for folks who have questions or issues relating to their iOS devices. We cover the gamut from the iPhone to the iPad to the Apple Watch and the Apple TV. And we cover anything that's associated with iOS, including apps, operating systems, features, accessories, hardware attachments, braille boards, keyboards, things along those lines. And we primarily focus on a voiceover, the accessibility features of iOS. All right. Let me find my notes here. Sorry about that. I just wanted to point everybody to the iBug Today website for any information regarding activities and schedules of events. That would be the ibugtoday.org website. That's ibugtoday.org. All of our training events are recorded and can be found on our archive recordings on the website or on any of your podcast platforms, and also on YouTube. Let me bring you up to speed on what's going on our iBug calendar for the coming week. We're here tonight, of course, Monday night. We're in the iBug Buzz that will run from 7 until 9 p.m. At the halftime point, which would be at 8 p.m. Central Time, we will be breaking for movie clues. That's when our iBug guy comes in and clues us in on what we might expect to see during our Friday night iBug virtual night at the movies coming up this Friday night. More on that in a minute. After that, we will have an iToys segment where Herbie will be sharing some information on any number of possible iBug or Apple toys that are out there on the market. Look forward to that. And then after the iBug Buzz tonight at 9 p.m. Central, we have our After Buzz. That's an opportunity to have a casual conversation with your iBug family and friends. Just shoot the breeze, talk about anything and everything other than a couple of selected topics, non-technology topics primarily. Then coming up tomorrow, which would be Tuesday, the 25th of March, from 5 until 6, we've got the iBug Mini Buzz. Mini Buzz is an opportunity for you to talk about things that we don't talk about tonight, predominantly hardware items, HomeKit items, things along those lines, and primarily what most of you seem to be concerned about these days, the Ray-Ban Meta Smart Glasses. This is your opportunity tomorrow from 5 until 6 Central to store up your questions and come on in and ask them until the cows come home. We'll have plenty of the people there who have answers to those questions. So we'll see you tomorrow night for those. Later tomorrow night, we have the Mac and Talk, which is from 7 until 9 p.m. Any questions about the Mac computer? Are you ready for one? Do you want one? Are you having problems with your Mac computer? Just bring your questions, and Chanel will host that magnificent show tomorrow night. That's from 7 until 9 p.m. We have nothing cooking here on iBug on Wednesday or Thursday night. So our next event following tonight will be the iBug virtual night at the movies, or the iBug night at the virtual movies. That starts at 8 p.m. Central Time, and it starts with a bunch of fun things, pre-movie activities. We kick it off with music, name that tune. We also have a joke night where one or two people get an opportunity to share a bad joke, and then we kick off our movie at the top of the hour at 9 p.m. Central. And we'll find out what that movie is, as I mentioned a moment ago, later tonight at the halftime point. Following the movie, we have our discussion, share thoughts about what you think about the movie. And following that, we will have movie trivia. We're also idle over the weekend, so that's it coming up on the calendar. I do want to share with you the iBUG $500 tech spending shopping spree, which will give you an opportunity to put your name into a drawing with a mere purchase of a $10 ticket. You can put your name into the drawing. The proceeds, the winner of which will win a $500 gift card for either the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, or for Amazon. That's a $500 gift card, real money, on any of those websites. All you got to do is go to the iBUG Today website. Once again, iBUG Today, IBUGTODAY.org. And you'll find all the information on how to register. $10 for a ticket to go into the drawing, and you can increase your chances of winning by buying 6 tickets, that is, for a mere $50. So that's coming up, and we will find the winner of the drawing in our 14th anniversary celebration coming up in our May Apple Workshop slot, which is on Saturday, May 24th from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And the winner need not be present to win. So look forward to that, and go on over to the website and donate to this really, really cool organization called iBUG Today. It's a 501c3 organization. I know a little bit about that. That means they're tax exempt under 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code of 1954, as amended in 1976 in the corresponding regulations. Right, Sandhya? Okay.
Okay.
With that, I'm going to turn it over to our Ladybug. Do you have any announcements that you'd like to add to our mix, Sandhya?
Oh, do you want to tell them about the special iBug Unplugged coming up?
Well, if you insist, twist my arm. Yeah, it's not
That
inside
was
joke,
hard.
folks. Yeah, we have coming up on the 5th of April, which is in our iBug Unplugged slot. The first Saturday of each month is iBug Unplugged, and a special program coming up that I am near and dear to. I'll be facilitating it. It is the Melodies and Memories program, where we celebrate music of a particular theme, and the theme coming up for the April Melodies and Memories program are one-hit wonders of the 70s and 80s and some Motown tunes. So brush up on your Motown. We'll have plenty of trivia, and a good time is guaranteed to be had by everyone who attends. That's April 5th from 7 until 9 p.m. That's Saturday night. All right, I think that takes care of our announcements. Let's go ahead and get to our introductions. At this point in the program, I'd like to ask Sandhya to unmute everybody, and I'd like to go around and ask everybody to identify themselves, tell us your name, where you're calling from, and if you happen to be new to the iBug Buzz, let me know that too. I'll kick us off. My name's Pete Lane, and I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
This is Herbie in Houston, Texas.
Hey, welcome.
Cindy from Chicago.
Hey, Cindy.
Ed from Georgetown, Ontario.
Welcome.
Dan from Southern California.
Welcome.
Vanessa, Georgia.
Welcome, everybody.
In Vanessa, Georgia.
Welcome.
Sydney in Franklin, Tennessee.
Welcome.
Mark from Montreal.
Welcome to both of you.
Deb from Kansas.
Welcome.
Ned
in
from
Columbus.
Texas.
Welcome to both of you.
Vermont.
Welcome.
Jody from New Hampshire.
Welcome.
Marvin from Chicago.
Hey, welcome, Marvin.
Pauline from Arizona.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Intisar from Iowa.
Welcome.
Danny from Illinois.
Welcome. Anyone else like to say hi?
Shazadi from St. Catharines, Ontario.
Well, welcome. Well, you made it. Welcome.
This is David from Houston.
Welcome.
Mary Alice from Pennsylvania.
Welcome.
Tanya from Houston.
Welcome to you too. Anybody else? Okay, those who didn't take advantage of this opportunity will have another shot at the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and kick off our questions on anything related to iOS. And any of you who are shy, please try not to be shy. We welcome any and all questions. All questions are good. We've got plenty of good answers for you. So who would like to kick us off with our first question of the evening? Anybody?
Cindy from Chicago.
Hello, Cindy. What you got for us?
So I got iPhone 16e, and I just found out that it would not it does not work with vibrate and ring at the same time anymore. Do you guys are aware of that, or do you guys know anything about that?
You broke up for me just when you were saying does not work with what again, Cindy?
With the ring and vibrate together. Like my iPhone 8, I had it set where it would ring and vibrate at the same time.
Uh-huh.
And so I am not able to get it to do that with my 16e.
That does not sound right, Cindy. Anybody want to offer a thought that might help Cindy get that setting set up properly? Because I don't think it was intended to be that way, Cindy. Who'd like to help Cindy out with that? The vibration and the haptic and the sound alert are not working at the same time.
Pete, Mark in Montreal.
Yes, Mark.
Cindy, have you gone into sounds and haptics and checked that, of course, your ringer is on and your vibration? Does it not give you an option to turn the vibration on as well? It should.
Yeah, I did. And I was at the Apple store the other day and they were trying to find it. They couldn't find it. And then yesterday I was on the phone with accessibility and they couldn't get it to do it. So
No, it's not in accessibility, it's in sounds and haptics. Well, a
well,
lot of the Apple folks, Cindy, and this is for a lot of people out there, are not really 100% knowledgeable when it comes to accessing voiceover. So you can't count on them. That's just my
yeah,
opinion.
and
You
this is
might find the occasional one, but a lot of times they are not.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Go ahead, Cindy.
This is Cindy. So when I say accessibility, I was at the Apple store the other day and they were trying to help me and they couldn't get it to do it. So I'm disappointed.
Did they, Cindy, if I could ask, did they indicate that that was the way the 16E was supposed to work? Or did they just scratch their head and just say, we can't figure it out?
Right. They said that they don't think it could be done.
I'm quite shocked, to be honest with you. Anybody else
This
hear of
this is
this?
Deb.
Yes, Deb.
Yeah, Cindy, I'm curious, is your phone, is the ring not sounding or is the haptics not tapping? Which one's not working?
The vibrate.
The vibrate's not working.
Right.
Um, and you've looked at the haptic feedback and it is turned on?
Yes. I look at all of those and yeah, nothing. But I have another disappointing question later on. I have another
Well,
disappointing
before
question.
you load up another disappointing situation,
Yeah, I'll come
let's
back.
hang on a second. Let's see what Herbie has to say. Herbie, what do you want to add
I
to
don't
the
remember
mix?
if this was asked, but have you just started with the simple restarting of the phone?
Good question.
Yes, I have.
And this is Herbie. One other thought I did have you checked your what model phone do you have?
It's the new 16E.
Okay, so have you checked the other button to make sure it's saying ring mode? Because you could have it on silent mode and not realize it.
She
This is
says the
Cindy.
ringer is working, but she doesn't get the haptic along with it.
Yeah, this is Cindy.
Okay.
Yeah, Herbie, I tried everything.
Okay, because I've seen sometimes like my vibrations disappear before, but yeah, okay.
Pete,
Thanks.
this is Deb again.
Go ahead, Deb.
So, I'm going to take a look at the settings and find out because I also have a 16E and mine are both working. So, I'm going to
Okay, Deb.
go away from here and
Alrighty.
find out.
Thank you very
Check
much.
that out. Sure.
Cindy, don't go away. Deb's going to see what she can find. She's also got the 16E, and maybe we can run this down for you. Because I'm at a loss. I don't think it should be like that. But anyway, thanks, Cindy. We'll
Sorry, this is Herbie with just one more
yeah,
thought.
Herbie, go ahead.
This isn't a solution, just a thought, but there could also be some type, since it's a new phone, there could be some type of bug within this phone itself that Apple might need to address with an update. So it could be that you might think of everything and it might be something beyond your control. So just keep that in mind as well. And
Well, and I would add to that, Herbie. If we can't get it resolved, I'd walk it right back into that Apple store. It's brand new, you said, right, Cindy? You just got it?
Yeah, I just got it last week.
Yep.
This is Ed.
Did we lose you, Pete? I heard Ed, but
Yeah, Brad, you're or Pete, you're muted.
Sorry about that. The mute gremlin. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me okay now, Ed? Thanks, by
Perfect.
the way. Appreciate you letting me know that. I'm just talking to the wall here. Sit tight, Cindy, and we'll see if Deb can come up with anything. Don't go away. We'll be back to you. All right. Thank you, Cindy. You started us off with a kicker there, but let's go on to another question. Who's got a fresh question for us?
This is Ed.
Yes, Ed.
I just wanted to ask Cindy if with the ringer turned off, does the vibration work then? Or does it just not working at all?
All right. Good question, Ed. Cindy, did you hear that question?
Audio now unmuted.
This is Cindy.
Yes, Cindy.
Yes, like I said, I tried everything. The ringer is working. What's not working is the vibrate.
Even when you turn the ringer off, the vibration is not working even then?
Correct.
Okay. There you go, Ed.
Okay.
Yes, Sri.
One thing you might want to try is if you go to settings, accessibility, touch, there's also a vibrate option. Just make sure that's not turned on.
Go to settings app, go to accessibility, and go down to touch.
Touch and then scroll down to, there's a vibrate button there too.
Okay.
I'll look at it right now.
There you go, Cindy. All right. Thank you, Sri. That's the end of that topic. Who's got a fresh question for us? Thank you, Sri.
Marvin in Chicago.
Go, Marvin.
Okay. I know there's a way on my messages that when I delete something from my iPhone, it would delete from my iPad. I recently updated my iPad and it must have got turned off. Where do I find that switch at?
Good question. So you've got the iPad and the iPhone and you're deleting what, a text message in your messages app?
Correct.
And it's not deleting on the pad, it's deleting on the phone. You
Correct.
want to get them synced up. Who can help Marvin with that issue?
I know there's a switch. I just forgot where it was at. That I have to have it on both the iPhone and the iPad. I
Right.
just don't know where it's at.
All right. Who can help Marvin out?
This is Herbie.
Anybody? Yes, Herbie.
It would be under messages and settings, and that's where I would look to make sure everything's synced up. Of course, I'm assuming that both devices are logged into the same iCloud account. Obviously, you're getting the messages on both. But maybe check the set. I think there's some sync settings, and I don't know if the iPad does anything different than the iPhone. Because, like on the Mac, we have another sync option. And so, I think I would look under messages under settings, and that's where that would be definitely a good starting point.
There
And
you go,
the other-
Marvin. Go to your settings app and go down and go to the bottom button there, which is apps. And if you double tap on the apps button, then you'll see a complete list of all your other sub settings. And I would go all the way down to the M's where you find messages and tap on that, double tap on that, and see if you can find something that would sync it between multiple devices.
And this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Yeah, one thing that comes to mind is message forwarding. There might be something under there. The other setting you can also check too on both devices is if you go under your name at the top of settings and go to iCloud, there is a messages option there as well, and you can make sure everything is turned on. For and that's more for syncing messages in the cloud. So either one of those could have things relevant to your issue.
And that's at the top of the settings app under the iCloud settings.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Thank you.
Good luck, Marvin. All right. Good job, Herbie. Thank you very much. Who's got a fresh question for us?
Dana.
Dana.
Yeah. I and when I get a new email, and this has been happening a long time. I've had this problem for a long time. I don't get a notification that an email has just arrived. Like I don't get a ding or whatever I have it set to. I've gone into settings and sounds and haptics or wherever I'm supposed to go, notifications, and everything looks good, but I'm still not getting those notification sounds.
Okay.
When new email come in.
Are you getting them for other things like messages or?
Yeah, texts. Yep.
Right. Okay.
Everything's working, yeah, except for email.
Everything but email. All right. Who can help Dana find the email notification?
This is John.
Yes, John.
I have a clarification question. With your email, regardless of which email account you're using, which email app are you using? Are you using the Apple email app, or are you using like a third party, like a Gmail or an Outlook?
There you go.
Gmail.
Gmail. At the bottom on your dock.
Yeah.
Gotcha. There you go, John. Just not getting the notifications.
All right.
What do you think, John? You got it?
This is John.
Yes, John.
No, so the reason why I asked is because I know that with the Apple Mail app, it's for some people it's been a problem for quite some time, but because he mentioned that it's Gmail, I don't know what the problem could be.
I'm guessing that it is the Apple native app. I think Gmail is his carrier, but you're actually using the native app, right? The mail.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Mark in Montreal.
You're probably right.
Hang on, Mark. John, you on a roll here, or should we go to Mark?
I'm good for now. Mark
All right.
can chime
What
in.
you got, Mark?
Okay, using Gmail on the Apple email app and have had this problem since 18.1
I
Got
thought
it.
you were going to say 1859, but
Maybe
not that long. Okay,
no,
go ahead.
no. I haven't been around for quite that long. But I'm telling you, it did. I did get it back. I did get it back at some point in 3 point. What are we running now? 3 point. What is
3.2, I think.
3.2? I got it back in 3.1, I believe,
Okay.
temporarily. And
What
when
did you do?
3.2
You
came
didn't do
out, it went to
anything
hell
then?
in a handbasket.
It was just by circumstance then with the
Yep.
update. Okay.
Yeah, and I know other people around here in Montreal area specifically, and in other parts far and wide, having the same issue.
All right. Can anybody else help Dana? Maybe point him towards a setting where he can just double check to be sure that the notifications are on. He's already said that he's checked everything. Any other thoughts?
So this is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So just to understand the issue, like you're having issue with mail notifications.
Yes.
Right.
Only in the mail app.
Only in the mail
Right.
app.
Not being notified.
Other than the obvious places, have you double checked like your fetch new data options? Make sure it's set the way you want it with how often it pushes and checks and all that.
No, I haven't. I
That would
haven't
be
tried that.
that would be, Dana, in your settings. Again, go down to the bottom element on that settings screen, which is apps, and double tap on apps, and then you can scroll all the way down to M again for mail and go in there, and then you'll see push and fetch notifications and see if all of those are maybe on. I guess that's where Herbie was heading
Yep.
with that.
And this is Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie.
My personal preference is to have all that off because having the phone do a lot less in the background saves the battery.
Saves the battery. Yeah.
If you really do need the mail notifications, I would definitely look there and make sure that they are set the way you want with how often it pushes and does all that stuff. And
Okay. Yeah, because it might be that you just don't have push notifications on and they don't actually load and come into your device until you open your mail app.
Mark of Montreal, Pete.
Go ahead, Mark.
I got all my all that configured the way I want it to be, and with the 16 Pro Max, battery life with email or anything else doesn't seem to be a problem. So I've got my push notifications and all my notifications the way I want them, and it's still an issue. I do get the notifications, but I don't get the sound.
All right,
This is
Dana,
Jody.
looks like we might, who is that, Ed?
It's Jody.
Oh, Jody, go ahead, Jody.
Yeah, I'd also go to settings and notifications and then go down to mail and make sure that your sound is still turned on there because sometimes when you update things rearrange themselves and turn off. So I'd go to notifications too.
Okay.
Okay.
Good luck,
Thanks,
Dana.
guys. Thanks,
You got
everybody.
it. All right. Coming up with a fresh question. Who's got it for us? Lots of good questions out there. We're just waiting to hear them.
This is Deb.
Yes, Deb.
Coming back to Cindy for a suggestion.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go, Cindy, under sounds and haptics.
You still with us? Let me double check, Deb. You with us,
Okay.
Cindy?
Yeah, I'm here.
There's that mute button. Go ahead. Go ahead, Deb.
Okay, so if you go to sounds and haptics and double tap there, if you swipe right several times, it's down past change with volume and stuff like that. There's a button that says haptics always play. There's several, it's always play button, and it's a button you can tap, and there's like 4 different ways you can set that. And if you set it to always play, it should vibrate when it's on silent mode, and when it rings, it should vibrate every time.
So it gives
Okay,
you
so I go to
certain
that-
circumstances
go to
when it.
settings.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
Cindy, go ahead.
it's in settings under sounds and haptics.
Okay, I'll look at it again. Thank you.
And you have to swipe down a ways, and it's kind of buried in between the sound volume and where it actually gives you the different tones or whatever for different, like mail or messages or whatever. It's between those two things, and there's like 4 different ways you can set it.
And it's
but
the
always
button is
play.
haptics. Haptics
Yeah,
is the button
it
she's looking
is.
for.
It
Okay.
is.
Yeah,
And
double
it
tap on that and see what those settings
and
are and put it
see
under
if
always
it's
play. Yeah.
always play. Yeah.
Good
Okay.
job, Deb.
Thanks.
Good luck, Cindy.
All right, thank you.
Thank you both. All right, fresh question. Who's got a question for us?
This is Dot.
Hello, Dot. Go right
Yeah,
ahead.
hello.
What you got for us?
Is there a way to have my iPhone announce the time in a certain, every certain period of time, like, like I want to?
At the top of the
Like
hour,
half an hour,
or
top of the
half an
hour.
hour, quarter of the hour, that kind of thing?
Yeah, something like that.
Good
I have a
question.
third-party app that can do that, but I want somehow the native or the voiceover to do it for me. Yeah.
Good question, Dot.
Yeah,
Who
thank
wants to
you.
help Dot with that?
This is Joe.
I heard Joe first. Let's go with Joe and then Jody.
Yeah, Apple doesn't have that capability.
No way to do it according to Joe.
Not that I know of anyway.
Okay, let's see if Jody has a better
Yes,
option.
I have the hourly chime app, and it is a third-party app, but you can set it to either chime on the hour or announce the hour. And I've got mine set to announce the hour, and you can also customize it so that you can have it end at a certain time, like at 10 o'clock at night, and then start at a certain time, like 7 o'clock in the morning. So you can really go in the custom. It's called hourly
Quiet period
chime.
of silence. Good.
Yes.
And what's the name of the app? Hourly Chime?
Hourly chime. Yeah.
So it doesn't look, anybody have another answer on whether or not the Apple Clock app might be able to do that?
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the Mac actually does have that ability, but the phone does not. But yeah, now the Apple Watch does, though. If you have that, you can have it chime. But yeah, again, the phone itself. It does
Interesting.
not.
Out of luck there, Doc.
You're already familiar with the idea of the third-party apps, so I won't go into that.
Hourly Chime is Jody's third.
Raheel?
So, Raheel, what do you have to add, sir?
So the clock app is your best bet because when you swipe through the clock app, it tells you the time when you're doing when you're swiping through to look for an app. So when you swipe around and look for the clock app, it tells you what time it is, and then you double tap to open.
All right. Thanks,
Thank
Raheel.
you.
He's looking for a regular hourly or half
Yeah,
hourly
automatic.
There used to be a chime app, but then they stopped
Yeah,
updating
we're good
it.
on third-party apps, but thank you, Raheel. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank
Welcome
you.
back. Good luck, Dot.
Yeah,
And
thank
Hourly
you.
Chime is Jody's app if you're
Yeah.
looking for something else. It might
I
be
hope it's
good.
free. Thank you.
Is that free, Jody?
Yes, it's free.
There you go, Dot.
Oh, thank you.
We
Thank
aim
you.
to please around here. There you go.
Yeah,
Good
awesome.
luck with that.
Thank you.
Okay, we're moving right along. Who's got another question for us?
This is Joe.
Yes, Joe.
I must have changed some settings around. I have a number of focus modes that set up, and they're supposed to turn on when I turn on certain apps. And well, it's not working that way.
Mm-hmm.
So
you have focus settings set to kick in when certain apps are like do not disturb while using this app or that app, that kind of thing.
that type of thing.
Yeah. And you had them set and they were working at one point?
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden, and you've done nothing, you haven't gone in there and changed anything?
Well,
Now
I
they're
did
not
something.
working.
I did something that Apple told me to do because I've been having problems with my calendar, but I can't remember what it's called.
Okay, so did they suggest a technique that would reset all of your previous settings, or did they just suggest that you go in and set them individually again?
I don't know. I haven't talked to them about that.
Anybody have any magic fixes for Joe on how to get back her focus settings, of which there were more than one, it sounds like, right? Yeah.
Raheel?
Go ahead, Raheel. Go, Raheel.
I was gonna say, if you got the focus, I would recommend deleting the focus, whatever you have set up, and then try to reset it up again. If that helps.
It's too complicated to do that now.
That's what I recommend.
Okay,
Like
thank you,
you go into
Raheel.
edit and then you delete that.
Thanks, Raheel. Anybody else? I heard somebody else coming in, or did I?
Yeah, there was someone else.
Who else has a thought on Joe's situation here? I guess we're hearing things, Joe. Sorry about that. Other
I
than
guess
going
so.
in
Oh
and
well.
redoing them. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, let us know how it worked after next week when you get done. Okay.
Crap, I'm trying to.
I know. Okay. Good luck. Who's got a fresh question for us?
Raheel?
Yes, Raheel.
I've noticed that I was at the DC Leadership Conference for ACB, right? So I clicked on the link for the voucher that they gave for the registrants, the $50 voucher. So I opened an Uber Eats at first, and then I had trouble finding it in my regular Uber app. How would I, in the future, go about finding stuff?
Need to know a little bit more, Raheel. So this is an ACB form that they provided to you for to show your expenses.
Um, so basically the voucher, like like when I have to find the thing for pay, because payment method, like how do you find the voucher to make sure that it's in the Uber app and things?
That's what I'm trying to pinpoint what the voucher is that you're speaking of.
So that
Anybody
was for
familiar
the
with this?
DC leadership seminar, $50 voucher for Uber.
Okay, so it was a gift certificate voucher for you to pay for an Uber.
Yes, it was, and I had complications when I was at the DC leadership conference to finding it. So
Okay. Anybody attend the leadership conference and or have any experience with a voucher provided to accommodate your Uber expenses while at a conference? Can anybody help Raheel with that?
This is Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie.
I've not had any direct experience with vouchers, but just a couple places I would. So Raheel, before I actually try to answer your question, you were given. Did you put the voucher into Uber, or were you given the voucher and you're trying to put it into Uber?
I was basically given the voucher via email, and I had to click it, and it opened
In
it
Uber.
in the Uber
Hang
Eats
on,
app
Raheel.
instead of Uber.
Excuse me,
So
Raheel. Hang on.
the
We've
the,
got
the
some
background's on
background noise back
that's on
there.
his end. So
Okay. Okay. Go ahead,
oh well,
Raheel.
first of all, I can that Uber Eats and Uber are the same when it comes to payment. Whatever you set as the default in one is the default on others. That I can tell you beyond the shadow of a doubt, because I have to be careful of that because with how I use the two apps. So if you added the voucher into Uber Eats and then you open the Uber app, it should show up there. So
Any particular
Okay,
location,
okay.
Herbie?
So
what? Hold on. Okay, two people were talking. So Pete, to answer your question, of course there's the actual settings of the app, but also when you're booking a ride or you're ordering a meal, you're gonna see an option at the bottom that says payment method. And right now, and I say the word right now because the app has not always been good about this. Right now, it'll currently tell you what the default payment method is. I would imagine then if it's set to a voucher, it would tell you. But if the default payment method doesn't read correctly, then you can double tap that. And I've definitely seen the voucher option in there myself as I've gone through like the various payment methods.
Okay.
So that's what I do when I want to adjust the default payment method.
All righty.
okay, thank you very much.
Good
Yes,
luck to you. Thank you very much.
thank
Thanks,
you very
Herbie.
much. Yep.
All right. Who's next? Who would like to ask another question?
This is Jerry from Vermont.
Hello, Jerry. What do you have for us, sir?
Well, yeah, I've got a funny one. I'm not asking about meta glasses now. I'm asking if I take a video with meta glasses, where does it go? Can I find it on my iPhone, or where does it go? How do you get to replay your video on your phone, or do you?
All right. Who can answer that question for Jerry? Does it land in your Photos app? That's my question.
It doesn't seem to land in mine. I don't know why.
It should land in, this is Ed.
Yes, Ed.
It should land, it should land in the photo app. I've taken pictures and said, send picture to so-and-so, and it'll say last picture taken, and that's what it'll send. And I've also done that with the video.
Are you taking the photos and the videos with your glasses, Ed?
Yes.
Okay.
But now the difference might be is I do it, I just say take a picture or take a video rather than
pushing the button.
Push the button. So maybe that was the difference.
Well, I'll give it a whirl, Ed. Thank you.
Also, Jerry, you know, we've got our iBUG Mini Buzz tomorrow, Jerry, from 5 to 6 Central. Come on in, and that's your opportunity to come up with questions for Meta glasses themselves. So my guess is that it goes into one of the tabs in your Meta glasses, but that's for tomorrow's discussion. So thanks, Jerry, and good luck until then.
That's what I needed to know. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
This is Jody.
Yes, Jody.
Well, it goes into your gallery in the app, and then you have to give it permission to transfer from the gallery to your photos album. I think
so there you go, Jerry. Tomorrow you can talk about that at more length, Jerry. Thank you, Jody. All right. Fresh question.
This Dot.
Yes, Dot.
If I can have a question about Apple, the music app.
Yes, of course.
So is add to favorite, it's the same as add to playlist that you made? Or is it gonna be you had to purchase the music to do so, or I never tried because I see some
you do have an Apple subscription, an Apple Music subscription?
I'm on free trial now.
You're still on the free trial?
Yeah, I'm still on the free trial now.
Okay, so you want to create a playlist? Is that what you're aiming to do?
Yeah, without, do I have to purchase the music to do that, or I don't know?
That's a good question. Anybody familiar with the trials? Can you create playlists and do everything that a full-blown subscription would allow you?
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So there's a difference between the playlist and adding something to favorites. So favorites is used, well, sometimes it's used for like when it curates material for you, but it's also so you can quickly find it and you'll see the favorite label in front of it. And the playlist is just a playlist, of songs.
This is that.
Sure.
Yeah, because when I select the option to add the favorite, and then I try to find it later, I don't know where they go. Yeah.
Your favorites?
Right.
I don't know where they
forget
go.
if there's a favorites category under the library tab.
I don't know.
I don't think so. What happens is when you go, I don't like to add stuff as favorites because
okay.
Then I have to see that favorites label in front of the song and it just slows me down. So
I see.
But I don't think they actually go. I don't think there's a favorites category, but I'll have to double check. But there is the key thing is there is a difference between, if you want to more easily find stuff, I recommend just either adding it to your library and then it'll show up, in the library tab in the order that you add it, or add them, to a playlist that you can easily find. And that's going to serve you better than trying to add something as a favorite in my experience.
This but yes, the important question is, do I have to pay to add to the library or add?
No, this is Herbie.
Okay.
Apple Music is a paid subscription. You're already paying for the service.
Oh,
He's
okay.
in a free
This is
trial, and those
this
will
is
go
Paul.
away. If you don't fulfill the trial and pay for the subscription, then those will go away. Go ahead, Paul.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If you have your own pre-recorded music that you purchased or put from CDs or whatever, it will play that for you. And you
Right.
don't have to pay any more for it.
Right.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank
So
you.
just put it in the music file and it shows up in there.
There you go. All
Oh,
right,
thank you.
Paul.
Thank you.
Thanks. You're welcome, Dot. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
All right, we've got plenty of time left.
This,
We're still in the first half of the hour. Go ahead. Who's that?
this is Annie.
Yes, Annie.
Okay, I have a couple of questions, but I'll ask one at a time, and I'll come later for the second one.
Please. Thank
So
you.
my text, when I'm sending a text, I used to be able to go to apps and click on that and then be able to send an audio message. Like I was trying to sing happy birthday to Jody yesterday, send her a message, and then and then I'll be able to see it as an audio. But then what was happening to me after I got out, I can only see the text in words, like what we were singing. And it used to be, and it will say like you sent her an audio, 2 minutes and 10 seconds,
Right.
but it will not, I cannot hear us. I can just see the words. I'm assuming that she heard it, and I know this is in the past. Other people did hear it, but I'm not hearing it. I'm just seeing the words. And it used to be not like that. So what's going on?
Yeah, it used
Or
to
what
be
did I
that.
do?
Who can help Annie with that question about an audio message through the Messages app? Yeah, it has not changed any to my knowledge, and that you should still get both. They automatically provide a transcript, which is the written text of the voice message, but it should also list an audio message that you should be able to play as well as Jody. The recipient and the sender should still be able to listen to it. So other than asking you to continue looking and keep flicking, and you'll see it listed audio message and just as you stated it and the length of the message, nothing has changed to my knowledge that has eliminated that. And you're still
This is
recording
Jerry
it,
from
so
Vermont.
nothing's changed. Yes, Jerry, what do you got?
I just wanted to add a proviso here. Make sure that your audio messages aren't set for delete after, what is it, 1 hour or 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Because if that's the case, it's never going to play again. If you
No,
wait.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is Intisar
Yes, Annie, go
again.
ahead, Annie.
No,
Go
it's
ahead.
not. It didn't even show it to me the very. I mean, right after we send it, it says it's 2 minutes, and I mean, we wanted to hear it. We
Yeah.
couldn't hear it. We only see in the text, and that
Right.
was not what it used to be before. So I mean, it's right away. I thought maybe later on it will show up, but no. I looked today, and this has been happening recently because it's a week ago. I sent stuff to my niece. They heard it, but I never heard it.
Okay, one other question. Did you
yes,
send,
Jerry.
this is Jerry again.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Are you sending it to Android or iPhone?
iPhone.
iPhone.
To
It's,
Jody, it's
it's
an iPhone user.
yeah.
Okay.
It's, and my niece, it's all Apple. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I don't
I
know
was
what to
stumped.
tell you. I'm not aware of any changes into SAR. So, and I just did a iBUG byte on it it's been a couple of months, and there have been a couple of small updates with iOS 18 since I did that demo, but I'm not aware of any changes to the audio message. One more call. Has anybody noticed any changes to the audio message feature in the Messages
So this
app?
is Jody.
Yeah, Jody.
I did get the message and I listened to it with my daughter and we loved it. It was absolutely delightful. And then afterwards, I wanted to save it and I went back and it didn't show up anymore. So after I listened to it, it disappeared. So it's kind
Interesting.
of the
Once
same
again,
problem that Intisar has.
well, just to reiterate what Jerry's last point was, you need to go into I don't say you need to, you might go into your settings, go down to the apps button, double tap on apps, go down to messages and tap on the messages settings. And in there, you will get into the audio messages area. And there is a retention period delete after a certain amount of time. And I think, as Jerry pointed, there's a short one, like a 1 hour, and then there's maybe a 1 day, or there may be
Oh, I hope I didn't lose it.
never. So double
I
check
think I
those
have mine
settings.
never, but I'll check again. I
Yeah,
have
double
mine
check it
never.
Me
just to be
too.
sure.
I'll check too.
Right. And if not, I'll look at it between now and next week and maybe come back and report.
This is
Yeah, because I
Joe.
want to save it.
Joe, last word on the subject.
Yeah. If the default setting is to keep it for 2 minutes.
The default setting is 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
I
that's
believe
pretty
so.
quick, Annie. So
Yeah.
that may have disappeared between the time you sent it and the time you got back to check it.
So you would have to
anyway,
double
go ahead
tap
and
on
check
that.
your settings. And anybody who's interested, check those settings just to be sure. Thanks, Joe. All right. Who's got a fresh question?
Bridget,
Yeah, Bridget, how are you tonight?
I'm fine. Okay, last week I had a message. It says, it was last week, I don't remember where. It says, allow Be My Eyes to put pictures in your photo. I hear what it says, but what does that, what is that going to do?
Allow
It's
Be My Eyes.
self-explanatory.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, to allow, I'm trying to remember it. I'm sorry, I don't remember where. Allow Be My Eyes to put pictures in your photo gallery. I think
in your
it
photo
says.
gallery. Okay. All right. Be My Eyes question. Anybody help Bridget with that notification that she received? Bridget, just a question. Have you taken any pictures with your Be My Eyes app that you know of?
No, I haven't, but I received a lot of pictures because I like pictures, and as a matter of fact, I have 234, and I was going to try to go get them and take them off my phone, rather.
Okay. Are you taking those with the Be My Eyes app?
No,
Do you
no,
use the
I'm
Be
not taking.
Right. Have you used your
I
Be My
use
Eyes
Be-
app lately?
Yes, I always use my Be My Eyes app, but not where I take pictures around the
Right.
things I want to see around here, but not photos of anyone or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, that would be what they're asking you permission to authorize, to allow them to go ahead and, if you do take pictures, to put those pictures into your Photos app, which is the app on your phone where all your other pictures are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're asking if
All
they
right,
can put
thank
them in
you.
your photo gallery, which is the same as your photo app on your phone. So they're just asking if they can move them, put them there when they take them. If you take any through Be My Eyes, that would be if you call a volunteer and you ask the volunteer, or for some reason the volunteer takes a picture, when they're helping you.
This is
Okay,
Joe.
now,
Hang on, Joe.
could I
Go, Bridget.
ask this? It's saying pictures. Yes, I take a lot of pictures with Be My Eyes when I'm trying to read things, but I don't take photos of individuals. So would that make
Yeah,
would that be a difference?
a picture is the same as a photo. Pictures and photos are the same thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
They're
my
not videos. You're
God.
thinking of videos, which are the motion pictures.
Right.
So photos are
Okay.
pictures. Yeah, that's probably what they're asking. If you've taken a lot of pictures, they're asking if they can store those in your Photos app, which is where all your other pictures are.
Okay. All right. Thanks
That
a
help?
lot. Understood.
Okay.
Yes,
Joe,
a
did you have
lot.
anything to add?
Thanks.
Yeah, I've never seen that, but I do know that there's a thing about sharing photos to Be My Eyes. Are you sure it isn't that?
Did it say what?
Yeah, say again, Joe.
There's a setting that allows you to share photos you've already taken with Be My Eyes. Are you sure that isn't it? Because I've never seen this.
So So what
Oh,
she's asking, Joe, is you've already taken pictures and they're in there. And sometimes, if you want to, you can use Be My Eyes to describe those pictures. Like if you take a picture of your family,
Yeah.
then you can somehow you can ask Be My Eyes to tell you what's in the picture.
That's what I'm talking about. But
Right.
it sounded to me like she was saying, save pictures you took with Be My Eyes. And I've never known it to say that.
That's probably it now that I think about it, Bridget.
Because it doesn't
well,
say that.
it say allow Be My Eyes to put pictures in your gallery.
No, it doesn't.
That's different. I'd go ahead and allow it if
Wow.
that's where all your other pictures are anyway.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Joe. Good point. All right, we've got a couple of minutes before we get to the top of the hour. Anybody got a fresh question for us?
This is Helene.
Yeah, Eileen.
So I was at the Apple store last week and the guy was really bent on fixing and figuring out what that weird text message that a year and a half later I still can't get rid of. And it was fascinating because after 45 minutes, and he asked everyone, I would recommend him totally in the Arizona Scottsdale quarter. His name is Fernando, and he was fabulous. He found out that I could actually make this happen by saying to my iPad, read my messages. And then it would start to say, hi, Helene, this is Rose. And we go through, and he went through it, and he was really determined. And I can't exactly tell you, but it was something with voiceover. And the person in charge of that Scottsdale quarter store figured out that in the text message, when you went to it, there's a green button on audio messages. And you have to press that green button, and then he was able to clear it and make it go away.
Wow.
So for those of you who, if you have a, weird ghoulish message that it won't go away, it's in audio, it's in messages. It was only on the iPad. It was not on the Apple, on the phone. And it was a green button, and it had something to do with voiceover. And that's as much as I can tell you. So
And you've been asking that question for
Yes.
months and months
Yes.
and months and months.
Yeah. And
Well, good. Congratulations, Helene. That's great.
Thank you. It's called Relentless. Thank you.
Yeah, relentless is right. All right. I think that's bringing us close enough to the top of the hour. With that, we will call it a day on hour number 1 of the Monday Buzz. With that, I'd like to give everyone an opportunity who didn't say hi at the top of the show to tell us your name, where you're calling from, and just say hi.
Barry from Vermont.
Hey, Jerry.
Angelo in Ottawa.
Welcome.
Livingston, New Jersey.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Kathy from Tulsa.
Welcome.
Sherry from Virginia.
Welcome, sir.
Gloria from Houston.
Welcome. Anybody
Jake
else
from Michigan.
Hey, Jake, welcome.
Hello.
Elizabeth from Newfoundland, Canada.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
John from BC, Canada.
Welcome, John.
Chris in Texas.
Hey, Chris, welcome. Anyone else? All righty. With that, I'm going to open this up for our iBUG guy. Tonight is, right now is when we hear clues to give us an idea on what movie we may be watching this coming Friday night. Just a reminder, Friday is the iBUG Friday night at the virtual movies. Fun begins at 8 p.m. Central. And we start off with Name That Tune, some music fun. We have jokes and Argle Bargle. The movie starts at 9, followed by a discussion among all who are in attendance, finally followed by music trivia. So with some clues as to what we'll be watching this Friday night, I'd like to open it up and welcome in The iBug guy, you there?
Never enough.
Yes, yes, yes. Hello, Helene. This is Rose.
Never enough.
Oh no.
All right, all right. Got those ghouls all around.
Kidding.
We are going to give clues. Of course, those times that Pete just gave you were Eastern, so take that into account if you're elsewhere.
Easter?
Now,
We've only been dealing with this for 3 years.
Yes.
Sorry
Yes.
about
Okay. Okay. Does anybody brush their teeth?
Yes.
I didn't. I didn't.
How often
never.
How often do you brush your
No.
teeth? How often do you brush your teeth? Once a day? More?
Three times.
Oh my gosh. Well, does anybody know what people did before there was the toothbrush?
This is Shri.
Go ahead, Sri.
We used our finger.
Some people may have, but
This is Jody.
This is Illy.
People have gone, or historians have looked back. You don't even have to worry about it. I'm going to share what historians have told us. All the way back to 3500 BCE. Yes, 3500 BCE, 5500 years ago. The Babylonians, and that's near the modern day Iraq, they actually use what they call chew sticks. They would find these little pieces of wood, usually would cut them into 5-6 inches, and they came from a tree that was very aromatic. And I don't happen to remember the name of the tree right now, but anyway, that's beside the point. They would boil one end of it to make it a little softer and then start chewing on it.
It was called the crest tree.
It was not called crest tree, but that's a good guess. And as they chewed on it, the aromatic would freshen their mouths, and also then the fibers would start going in between their teeth and clean their teeth. So that was the first toothbrush.
And Pete, you seem so knowledgeable about this. Were you around back then?
500 years ago.
Did it give him fresh breath?
Fun fact, fresh breath and teeth cleaning. All right, we're going to get into clues for the movie. This week's movie, we have, again, as usual, 5 clues. You get 1 guess per clue. If you've guessed the movie in the last 3 weeks, you are not eligible. And you must say your name before guess and be acknowledged before trying to guess what the movie title is. All right. It's now time for
Out of the atmosphere.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I should have used one of those toothbrushes. That may have helped. All right. Clue number.
Is everybody eligible?
Only if you didn't guess the movie in the last 3 weeks, then you're not eligible. Otherwise, everyone's eligible. You can also unmute yourselves at this time. Just don't have a lot of background noise, or Julie will have to swat you. Here we go. The story setting of our film this week is in the great Southwest of the U.S., the U.S. Southwest. The setting of our film this week is in the U.S. Southwest. Ooh, that narrows it down a lot.
Yep.
All right. Like kind of move.
Brooks.
Ooh, Brooks.
How about Silverado?
Silverado. I love that movie. And Brooks is right on the mark for a good movie, but not the one we're going to see this week.
What was the clue again? I'm sorry.
Good try. The setting of the film is Southwest U.S.
Oh.
All right, moving on. Oh, wait. Did I hear some other name?
Yeah, Dana.
Dana.
Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is no. Okay, not tonight. Not tonight. All right, we got to move on. Clue number 2. Entertainment Weekly magazine famously claimed the film changed Hollywood. Ooh, wow. It is one of them. Entertainment Weekly. I didn't even know there was an Entertainment Weekly magazine famously claimed the film changed Hollywood.
This is Dot.
Dot, go ahead.
Is wait. No, never mind. I was thinking of somebody else.
Okay,
Never mind,
Dot.
never mind.
All right, you're just wasting our time. Okay, go ahead, Paul.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. That's a great movie. And not tonight, or not this week. All right. You guys got to remember what the theme of our movies are for this month. What has been the theme of our movies this month? All right, going on to clue number 3. A trucker plays a key role during one of the scenes of the film. A trucker.
This is Herbie.
A key role during one of the scenes of the film. Herbie.
Is it The Grapes of Wrath?
The Grapes of Wrath. I don't remember a trucker in The Grapes of Wrath.
There was in the book version. I don't remember if he was in the movie version or not. So.
Oh, okay. Was it in the Southwest?
Well, it's in Oklahoma. Oh. It goes from Oklahoma to California, so.
Oh, okay, that would probably qualify. Ooh, Herbie's getting warmer, but not quite there. Good try, Herbie.
This is John.
John.
Is it Over the Top?
Over the Top. Oh my gosh, you guys are so close. Good try, John. All right, anybody new? We need some new players in here. I'm getting tired of all these old people. We got lots of people online, 50 people or more. All right, we're moving on to clue number 4. One character famously says, oh, this is going to give it away. One character famously says, I'm having a really bad day just before robbing a store. Ooh, thought that would give it away.
This is Shri.
Oh, Shri.
Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart gosh, you guys are dancing all around this film. My.
This is Jerry from Vermont.
All right, Jerry, tell us what it is.
Is it Thelma and Louise?
Thelma and Louise. Okay. That kind of takes place in the Southwest. I don't know about the other parts. One of the characters say, I'm having a really bad day. I don't know. Well, Jerry, you know what?
That's it.
On any other week, you would ding, 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 ding. Yes, Jerry's got it.
I did.
I
can't believe it.
Thelma and Louise.
Good
That
job. Good movie, too.
Oscar-winning movie about our adventurous women. And this has been all this month, Women's Month, you guys. If you haven't paid attention, we've had all kinds of women, maybe not all the best role models, but they've been very strong. Strong women in all of our films. So we are watching, yes, Thelma and Louise from 1991, starring Susan Sarandon, Gina Davis, Harvey Keitel, and many others. So
Brad Pitt.
be sure to join us this Friday. Oh, we got to give Jerry a prize. So, does anybody remember what Thelma and Louise were driving? As they drove from, actually, they left Arkansas, went through Oklahoma, New Mexico, Arizona.
A convertible.
A convertible
Cadillac.
car.
Convertible, exactly. A 1966 Ford Thunderbird convertible, to be exact. And we've had it repainted in iBUG colors just for Jerry, and it should be on the truck on the way to you as we speak.
Right, Jerry.
So be looking for that.
I sure will. I can't wait. Thank you.
Good job, Jerry.
All right. So I guess that is it for me. And I am going to be on my way out of here.
Thank you, Michael.
Everyone have a great night. And that was a song, the song Never Enough by Lauren Alred from the very first movie that we did on iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies 5 years ago. So, if anybody didn't know.
All right. Great. Julie, would you mute everybody, please?
Okay.
All righty. Good job, Julie. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. We are now up for our iBUG Byte. This iBUG Byte is about a very commonly used feature that I use commonly, at least. And I don't think it needs any preparatory remarks. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let it run now. Here we go. Folks, Pete Lane. Hi, folks. Pete Lane. Tonight, I want to do a quick review of the tap back feature in the iOS Messages app. This is a very simple and very quick means of replying to a text message with either a preset emoji or a customized emoji that you select from the vast list provided in the iOS Virtual Keyboard. Let's get started. Let's go right to our Messages app.
Messages. Dan Lane. Should be good now. 2:57 p.m.
Okay, this is an incoming text from my son Dan. What's coming up next is our key to the back tap feature, Actions Available.
Actions available.
I'm going to scroll through the complete list of actions that are available merely by flicking up with one finger, starting right now.
Activate default.
You heard it. Activate is our default action. If I double tap on this button, it will open the text and I will then be able to respond in the way that I choose. And I'll continue by flicking up again with one finger.
Drag.
This is a reaction that was recently added to the Messages app with iOS 18.3, which we'll have to cover in another presentation. I'll continue to flick up with one finger.
More.
The more option will give us the opportunity to either delete the message or forward it. Continuing to flick up.
Translate.
iOS will translate the message. There are 2 or 3 languages available.
Copy.
All we need to do is double tap here on the message and it will copy it to the clipboard.
Add sticker.
Here we have another list of graphic replies to the message in the form of stickers. And as I flick up one more time, we reach our destination.
Tap back. Activate.
We will activate it with a one finger double tap.
Tap back picker, heart, button, actions available.
Now, the first emoji is the heart. If I were to double tap on this, Dan would see the heart. He is sighted. If it were to go to a voiceover user, they would hear voiceover say, Pete loved this message.
Thumbs up.
Here's our next preset. VoiceOver would describe it as Pete liked this message.
Thumbs down, button.
Thumbs down, dislike.
Haha, button.
I don't know what the visual graphic looks like, but the VoiceOver description, Pete laughed at this message.
Exclamation mark.
VoiceOver will say, Pete emphasized this message.
Question mark.
VoiceOver will say, Pete questioned this message.
Face with tears of joy emoji.
And we have a few full emoji that are self-explanatory.
Red heart emoji, button. Face with heart-shaped eyes emoji, button. Unamused face emoji, button. Okay hand emoji, button. Smiling face emoji, button.
And that's all of the presets. So next we come to
Add custom emoji reaction, button.
Add custom emoji reaction. We'll come back to that in a moment. As I continue to flick to the right, we will next encounter our Genmojis.
New Genmoji, button.
This is a feature which allows you to create custom emoji using Apple Intelligence, which we're not going to delve into tonight. And continuing to flick, we'll enter the long list of emojis that are actually contained in the on-screen emoji keyboard. There are more than 1,000 of these emojis, so we won't delve into the extensive list tonight. However, there are categories of emojis, and the quickest way to get to those categories is to go to the bottom of our screen with our 4-finger single tap. Now I'm going to flick backwards using one finger to flick to the left, and we'll go through the categories.
Flags, symbols, objects, travel and places, activity, food and drink, animals and nature, smileys and people, recents.
We are now back to our recents category, which is actually the first in our categories listing. We're approaching the section where we create a customized emoji. Here we are.
Add custom emoji reaction.
Flick to the right.
Close custom emoji picker. Describe an emoji, text field.
I'll dictate clinking champagne glasses.
Inserted clinking champagne glasses.
Okay, let's flick to the right and see what we run into.
New Genmoji, button. Clear text, button. Clinking champagne glasses emoji.
And that's my result. I'll do a one-finger double tap to select it.
Emoji messages. Dan Lane, should be good now. You reacted with clinking champagne glasses emoji.
There we go. We have successfully created our own customized tap-back emoji and replied to Dan's message using that emoji. That concludes our quick iBUG Byte, a review of the tap-back feature in the iOS Messages app. The tap-back feature is something that I use every day, multiple times a day. It's so quick and it's so easy. I hope this helped. Let's open it up for questions. All right, Jules, if you would unmute everybody, I would appreciate that.
Got 'em.
Got 'em. All right, any questions on the tap-back feature? The tap back in your Messages app. Does anybody use it?
Joe.
Joe?
I use it sometimes, but I haven't really explored it. Other than the presets, I haven't really.
Okay.
This is Jerry from Vermont. I don't use it generally, but I excuse me, certainly will use it from that year on out.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Thanks.
Thanks, Jerry.
This is Karen.
Yes, Karen.
Now, when you said you created those champagne, did you like find it amongst those thousands of emojis, or there really was not a drink clinking champagne glasses?
No, there was one. If you remember before I got to it, there was a text field and it says describe the emoji. So that's where you kind of go in and you try to use words to describe an emoji that you want to pick. But it was an actual emoji that I pulled out of the 1,400 that were in there.
Oh, okay. I thought you created that on your own. I was like, oh, cool.
No, that's what you can do with the Genmoji. We passed over that. That's one of those new
that's
Apple
the Genmoji.
Intelligence
Okay.
features. You can kind of start and create a picture of your own, starting from scratch almost. But this was one of the existing, I think there's 1,400 or so emojis, and this was one of them that was already there.
Okay.
Good question, though. Thanks, Amanda.
All right. Thank you.
This is Jerry from Vermont again.
Yes, Jerry.
I'm not a visual person, so I don't understand what heart-shaped eyes means. What when it says
right.
So I don't know what that means.
All right. I used to be a visual person more than I am now, but do you know what heart-shaped is, Jerry?
Yeah.
So this is a picture. It's kind of an image of a face. Just kind of draw what a face might look like, kind of an oval shape. And at the top, toward the top half of the oval, you'll have a pair of hearts side by side, kind of like where your eyes would be.
Okay, but what I guess the deeper question is, what does it mean when you do that?
That's a good question. Heart-shaped
This is
eyes.
Innie?
Yes, Innie.
It's you're responding like you love this, or you're looking at it with a compassion. Just your art is
Kind of
all
like with
lovey-dovey.
starry eyes.
Yeah.
You heard that expression, Jerry? You look at somebody with starry eyes, you're kind of like in showing that you love them a little bit.
Yeah, yes, I've heard that. And depending on the constellation that I'm looking through, it depends on the meaning,
Yeah, right.
Mark in Montreal.
Yes, Mark.
If I can add to this confusion, I could suppose it would be, some would be calling it, and my wife would be calling it googly eyes. Maybe.
You've definitely added to this confusion. Thank you,
Good.
Mark.
Good. You're welcome.
Any other questions about this? Again, Joe, I think it was you who first said you don't use this much except for the presets. Well, that's pretty much how I use it 95% of the time. I don't very often go grab emojis from the list of 1,400. I'll just use, all I do is flick up once and then I've got the list. All I got to do is either tap on the first one if I like it, which is the heart. If I don't like it, I usually flick once to the right, and right there is a thumbs up. And between those two, that's how I use most of them. Those first two, the heart, which means I love what you said, or the thumbs up, which is the next one, which means I like what you said. And if not, I can flick a couple more down, and there's a thumbs down if I don't like something that you sent me, or if I'm questioning something. And they're very, very, very convenient, and they're really quick.
Marvin from Chicago.
They're impersonal. Yeah, I'm sorry. Who is that?
Marvin from
Go
Chicago.
ahead, Marvin. Yeah.
The one thing I like about it is that when you do select one, you don't have to hit send again. It just automatically sends to the responder.
Yeah. All you got to do is double tap on the heart or the thumbs down or the thumbs up, and it's automatic. It goes right back to whoever sent it. So it's quick. And a lot of people, like I was starting to say, think that they're impersonal, that you're not taking a lot of time on my message. All you did is tap on it. But,
This is Dee.
This is Sarah. Better than not responding. Dee, I heard you first. Go ahead.
Okay. When you choose one of
And then
these, like
Sarah.
you did, selected your own tap back
Right.
emoji, does that save that in your list of emojis?
I
your
thought
favorites or anything?
That's a good question, Dee. I thought it did, but then I went back the day after I did that, and it was not in the list.
Okay.
If anybody found any different, I would have thought it would have put it in my list of, along with the
your favorites.
Smiling face with starry eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
Okay,
don't think
thank
it
you.
does. All right,
Any?
Mark from Montreal.
I'm sorry, Sarah was up first. Go, Sarah.
I just, yeah, I wanted to say that I find it very convenient, and I don't think it's blowing anybody off. And it's, it's sometimes it's just your first reaction to laugh,
Right.
and you don't necessarily want to write a long message about it.
Mhm.
The one thing, I dislike when, somebody says, well, I'm here, and I text, I'll be right down, and I'm trying to get down the stairs with my dog, and they send okay.
Right.
So I have to stop and look at the text.
Right.
And but I find the like and the love and the, whatever, I like those, because it just is giving them the feeling without
Yeah.
the,
There's some acknowledgement.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Thanks, Sarah. Mark, before you, I heard someone else, a couple of other voices. Who else had something to say? All right, Mark, go.
I just find, for me, and because I'm not used to using these and not familiar with the context of how to use these as a totally blind person, I would want, and when I get them and I see them in such groups like our bariatric group on Facebook, I have to ask Sandy, what the hell does that mean? You
Mhm.
know, like it's some are obvious, sums up as obvious, but like I'm just like, why the hell don't they just write in English?
Mhm.
That's my frustration with it. Like, what's the matter? Even if you have to use Siri and use two words, like, what happened to the English language nowadays? Like,
Well, the
are
good
we?
thing, Mark, is that VoiceOver reads the description. So whatever we get, if somebody sends us an emoji, VoiceOver will read it in a
Yeah,
short
well,
description.
but something out with stuck out tongue and smiling face and stuck
Yeah.
out tongue and lips departed, and
Right. Or
it just gets to
smiling
be
pile of poo, which is
a
probably something
smiling
you're
pile of
used to.
poo.
So,
It just gets to be, some people, all they do is communicate with these things. I remember things
well,
in Clubhouse and other places, and
well, there's
all they would use is
there's
those damn
another
things.
side of the story, folks, from Mark in Montreal. Thank
There
you,
you
Mark.
go.
There you go,
Thanks.
Sarah. Point counterpoint, Sarah and Mark. Who else would like to comment on the
This is
demo?
Innie.
Yes, Annie.
You were mentioning that when you used it, you were hoping, you went back to look to see if it's available. If
Right.
you use it often enough, not if you just use it one time, because
Mhm.
I noticed sometime I always like to put sunflower, and if I pick the sunflower a few times, then it will be in that top where it said, what do they
Oh,
call it?
okay.
The most,
The
what?
recents.
Yes, the recent,
Yeah, it used to
exactly.
be favorites, I think, but now it's
Now it's the
recents. Yeah.
recent, yeah,
Right.
and all these recents, some of them, I don't know how many you allowed in the recents, because if something you don't use at all anymore, it will fall out of the recents.
Okay.
But they have like a list above that.
But
And
that
I
doesn't.
wanted,
Go
yeah,
ahead. I'm sorry.
and
Go ahead.
I wanted to say earlier with the heart eyes, also it could be meant it's so sweet or it's so cute. Just any kind of, not
Yeah.
the
Anything
Googling.
with hearts
Yeah,
in it is going to be
yeah,
sweet and
yeah.
cute and that kind of thing. All right. Any other
Yes.
comments,
This is
questions?
Joe.
Yes, Joe.
I was thinking about to Mark the tongue out, smile with the tongue out. From what I can tell, it's just someone sticking their tongue out, but they're going to put a smiley face in there probably to make it look better.
Right. Right. I think Mark was more asking the meaning behind the tongue more than just.
Well, you know what it is to stick your tongue out at
Yeah.
somebody. I'm sure you've done it.
Yeah. We won't tell Mark that because all these people who are sending him that face with stuck out tongue, he's thinking they're liking his stuff.
I used to write colon P all the time.
All right.
Miss
Any other questions?
Karen, I got a question.
Yeah, Karen.
Outside of reacting to a message when you're dictating somewhere else, is there? I love emojis. I would use them more, but I don't feel like searching for them sometimes. Thank God they brought that search feature, a
Right.
while ago,
It's
year,
really
however
good,
long it's
right.
been. That's amazing. But sometimes I don't even feel like doing that because sometimes it's kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
So, is there a way to, as you're speaking and dictating, is there a way to say like emoji like
That's a good
sunflower,
question.
and then
And that's
it
not
will put a
really
sunflower in.
related to the demo because I was just working with the tap back
I know.
emojis.
I'm sorry.
I believe there is because I did a demo a couple, 3 years ago on emojis, and you could say in the middle of reading of dictating your text, you could dictate an emoji. So,
Oh wow.
anybody know off the top of your heads if you can just in
Oh,
the
that's
course
amazing.
of responding, uh, say the name of an emoji and it'll populate it for you? Anybody? Let me research that and maybe I'll come
Thank you. Oh,
back
that's
with it next
amazing.
week.
Thank you.
You
That's
got
cool.
it, Karen. All right. We're at the bottom of the hour and it is the fourth Monday. So, Julie, if you would go ahead and make Marty a co host if you haven't already, I'm going to introduce the one and only on our stage tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Marty and Herbie.
All
Herbie, you're
right.
on, my friend, for our iToys segment.
All right, Marty, you've been made co-host, so you know what, guys? You get a break from me. Marty, my friend, take it away.
So, can I be heard? I guess I can.
Yes, sir.
Okay, folks. My contribution to iToys tonight is a 15-watt Magsafe charger from Anchor. It's a 3-in-1 cube. And I got it first. I got it out of curiosity. It's a little pricey. It's $129.95. It's very portable, but it's heavy. It's almost a pound. And I think that's because Anchor has good quality stuff. So it's a good sturdy unit. So what this unit is it's about a 3-inch cube. The top surface is your MagSafe charger for your phone. You can put an older phone on there, but you won't have the use of the magnet. You just have to kind of place it on there and hope that it will, you don't knock it off. You can flip up the MagSafe lid, and underneath that is a smaller pad, and that is for AirPods or wireless, earbuds with wireless charging case. Now, the only problem, if it's not an AirPod, you'll have to just guess that you're on the charging pad properly because there's no beep from the cube. Because with the AirPods Pro 2, that case will emit a beep when you have it on the charging pad. And then if you have the USB port away from you, on the right hand side it's like a little door, and if you push it in, it slides out, and that is the Apple Watch magnet. And you pull it all the way out, and you put your watch on there. And what I liked once I got it, it is of all the non-Apple, other than the original Apple Watch charger, this Apple Watch charger will charge a watch as quickly as the original one does. Because I have a lot of like stands with magnets in them and all, and they do not charge the watch as quickly. It might be like 1.5 hours versus 1 hour or 2 hours, but this is about as fast as the original charger. And that's what and they recommend at least a 30. I think it comes with a cable and a 30-watt brick. Now I have mine hooked up to a 150-watt brick, 265 USB-C ports, and a 20-watt USB-A port. I've been using it now. have it on my desk here, and I charge my and you can do all that simul. Well, if you use the bottom pad for your AirPods, you'd have to lift up the top part, the Magsafe part, but because it's Magsafe, when you put your phone on it like vertically, it's not going to fall off because the magnet will hold it in place. And that's Anchor, Anker. And for anyone who wants their support number, it's 800-988-7973.
All right, I'll have you give that support number one more time at the end of our segment here. Great presentation. And yeah, this definitely sounds like an exciting. I've seen the similar cubes. I don't know if the one I got, I don't think it was Anchor, and it died, but that's definitely good to know. One thing I do want to mention real briefly is, if I'm not mistaken, the 16E also does not have MagSafe support. So if you're getting the iPhone 16E, I don't. It'll be like using the older phone with the MagSafe charger, the way Marty described. So, all right, are you ready for questions?
Yeah, I think I've pretty much described it. So if I missed anything, well, maybe it will come out in a question or whatever. It's available on Amazon, by the way, and that's where I saw it for
All right,
for
to give you an idea of how long lasting Anchor products are. By the way, folks, I got an Anchor battery back in 2017, one of the big ones, and now one of the USB ports is kind of broken on it now, but I still use that thing to this day to charge my phones, and I've used it quite heavily over the years. So, and there are more accessible batteries out there, but in fact, this one is not accessible, but I've used that Anchor battery for almost, let's see, I got it in 2017, so 8 years now. That's impressive. Okay, what have we got for questions?
just to this is Marty. Just to clarify, I thought it did. It is not. It does not have a battery in it. It is, it is not a power bank. Unfortunately, you have to plug it in to use it.
All right, that is a very important clarification. So, it is not a portable power bank. Okay.
This is Shrey.
Yes.
So Marty, since the phone is on the top, is it laying flat or is it like sticking straight out?
It's laying flat. Now, if you pick up, like I said, if you're going to put AirPods underneath it and you lift the top up in a vertical position, your phone's going to be vertical. But I think you'd have to put the phone like crosswise, because if you try to put it vertically, it's going to be too, it won't quite fit on the magnet. If that makes any sense.
So you mean it charges in landscape mode?
Landscape mode, yes, that's it.
Marty, this is Jerry from Vermont.
Sure.
I just wondered about the model number for that one. That sounds like a really good one.
I wasn't able to find a model number, but it's their only one that's a cube. If you just put in the search field Anchor 3-in-1 Magsafe charging cube, if that will come up.
Okay, and you said it does have the opportunity to plug cables into it as well?
No, well, you just plug the one cable to power it from your brick. Yeah, just the one cable. But it can charge. You can charge all three at once. You could have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
And I like that this is Marty. I like that the watch magnet, when you're not using it, you can just push it in. It retracts into the unit.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
This is John.
Yes.
Yeah, John.
I just want to say that seems pretty nice because you don't have to worry about the extra cables and chargers, like the extra clutter. Because I got the Anchor Prime 200 watt, and it's like it is only one cable, but I do still have to plug in like the cables for whatever my device is, whether they're USB-A or USB-C. At least with that one, they're all MagSafe, so you plug your device on there and that's it. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. And by the way, as a side comment, since I was talking about this on Saturday, there was a space launch today at 1:48 p.m. Oh, okay,
All
any other
right.
questions?
This is Ed. Does
Yeah.
that have a like a storage case or a travel case or anything with it?
No, it did not cut. You know what? It's such a sturdy unit. You'd have to throw it against the wall or something to. It's a pretty heavy unit, which is the only reason I would maybe not take it to travel. It's very compact. It's only, like I said, 3 inches, but it's I think a
Heavy.
14-ounce unit to be exact. Yeah.
All right. And by the way, for our Trekkie Talk folks, when we mention a cube, we're mentioning a charging cube, not a board cube. So
This is Shree.
Go ahead,
hold
Sid.
on, before we go back to you, Shree, anybody who's not asked the question yet. Joe.
This is Joe. Can you plug
ahead.
that into a battery pack like you can with the
I would
Magsafe?
imagine, yeah, I would imagine you could plug it into a power bank. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, power bank.
That being said, I mean you could just plug the device, whatever you're charging directly into the power bank too.
Yeah.
But it plugs into I guess the other end, if it plugs into a brick. Yeah, maybe double check that one with Anchor before trying that. And make sure the power bank has enough wattage because it might have a certain minimum, but you'd probably be fine. You'd probably want to just plug. I can see where it might be useful if you really have to charge multiple devices, but otherwise I would just plug the device directly into the power bank.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, that probably makes sense.
Might as well take a regular MagSafe charger than the puck then.
Yeah. I mean, this is really for like I used a cube like this, like it really came in handy when I traveled once to a hotel. And you know how power outlets are in hotels? They're not in the most convenient places. They want you to have their they have their lamps plugged in. Why? But anyway, so it's great for a situation like that where you can be plugged in, but you can put all your devices in one spot and things like that. So, all right, anybody else? All right, not hearing anybody, Shri, let's go on to your other question.
So Marty, I just wanted to make sure this is a 25 watt. Is that correct?
Well, it says I would think it's 15 watt, I guess, is for the phone, and then the because I called Anchor today and asked them, and they said the AirPod wattage, the wattage for the AirPod and the wattage for the watch are minimal. So I mean, it recommends to use a 30-watt brick. That's what they recommend.
Or
I
maybe
mean,
it's 30 watts then.
I guess you could use a 20-watt brick, but it might be
Right.
slower
So
charging.
minimum of 30-watt brick then. So.
Yeah.
All right, and the charger is 15 watts. So that's not, it's not a fast charger for the phone, but it'll work. It's, for the convenience, not for fastness. So just keep that in mind too, depending on your needs. Marty, go ahead and give us the number one more time. So if you
Okay.
make sure you write
The
this down,
number
folks.
for Anchor support is 800-988-7973.
And this is the Anchor charging cube.
Yeah, the Anchor Magsafe 3-in-1 charging cube.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you very much, Marty. And just a quick reminder, if you have something you'd like to present to iToys, please let myself or Sandhya and Michael know, and we'll arrange for you to be on a future call. And with that, I will turn it back over to P. Oh, just real quick, both the AirPods Pro 2 and the latest AirPods 4 will all, they all make the charging type sounds when you plug them in. So just know that. All right, Pete,
All
back
right,
to you, my
Herbie.
friend.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Marty. Good job. And Marty is becoming a mainstay around here. As he pointed out, he gave a presentation on Saturday in our iBUG Apple workshop on a new app that he's gotten wind of and recommends called Space Launch Now. It's a really cool app, and it gives you audio feeds and all kinds of information on space launches all over the world. And I'm serious. I've got the app myself, and I went to the list, Marty, and there had to be more than a dozen space launches just on the recents list and the upcoming lists. And by the way, Marty, and anyone who was on the Saturday workshop, we talked about the splashdown of the two astronauts that were returned to Earth after an extended stay at the International Space Station. I did not see that on the list of recents. Marty, have you checked that since Saturday by any
No,
chance?
I really didn't.
Yeah, I
I
didn't
was
see
going
it
to
on there.
check that.
Yeah, I looked under the
Did you
SpaceX.
check Did you check the news tab?
Yeah, I did, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay,
And
okay. I
there was no
didn't have
mention
it
of
on.
it even there, which surprised me because I would have thought it would have been there. At any rate, it was a great presentation that Marty gave, and Herbie also gave a presentation on Saturday on passwords. So that's up on our website, or if it's not there now, it will be shortly. Our recording of Saturday's Apple Workshop. I encourage everybody to get out there. It was a great presentation. And there's a new recorded demo of the app connected to it that we did not get to hear on Saturday. So you'll hear something new if you go and listen to the archive. You can catch that
Thanks,
on
Pete.
the ibugtoday.org website, or on any of your podcast apps, or on YouTube. Look under iBug Today YouTube channel. And another great job by Herbie as well. All right, thank you all for the iToys segment very much. And let's go ahead and get back to our general open questions. If anybody has a question, let's hear it right now. Go.
This is Marty.
Yeah, Marty.
Herbie, you were mentioning I read somewhere, is that correct, that the AirPods 4, are they more like an open ear design? Or are they like the regular where you stick the bud in your ear, just like all the others?
Okay, if anybody can answer that. We don't name request people
I
here,
know,
but
yeah.
that's all right.
Okay.
Anybody, AirPods 4, which are the latest, I think they're buds, but does anybody have a pair of AirPods 4, or can they answer Marty's question? Herbie included. I believe they're regular earbuds, just like the AirPods Pro. They might have a longer or shorter stem, but they are buds, Marty.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Other questions? We've got plenty of time.
This is Sarah.
Yes, Sarah.
Okay, I have it's sort of a long question.
We got plenty of long answers.
Okay, good. I was trying to put another widget on my phone, and it ended up basically taking the top half of my phone. So I tried to stack them, and it turned out that a smart stack basically just went kerblooey. It did the choosing for me instead of me doing the choosing. So then I went back to I thought the 3 original widgets, and I had lost the battery widget, and I couldn't find it even when I was adding widgets. You wiggle the way you do it. Anyway, So I couldn't find it there. Finally, I found it. What is the 0 page called? The control panel? Control
Yeah, page 1, page 0, probably.
page 0.
Yeah.
Well, I finally found the battery widget there. I don't know why. And I was able to move it back onto my page 1.
Mm-hmm.
And now, since I've been playing around with this and destroying my phone, the page 0, the control panel, has disappeared. There's nothing on it, and I like nothing.
You mean that page that you're calling the control panel? Because it's not really the control.
It isn't the control.
Yeah, it's just
right.
It's get to page 1 and then swipe to the right, and it's the page
Exactly.
below page 1.
Exactly.
So
and it says
there.
0, but it's not there. And I don't know where it is and what I did, because I've been fooling around with this.
What happens if you swipe to the right from page 1? Anything? Does voiceover
Nothing.
speak? Oh, no.
Nothing. The voiceover doesn't speak. It doesn't clink or clunk or anything.
Oh, gosh. Anybody seen Sarah's page 0?
Well, Jerry from Vermont.
Yes,
Hi,
Jerry.
Hey,
with 2 Vermonters.
What I would do if I were you, and I'm not, but if what I would do is go to your Spotlight search where the pages are, and actually tap. Don't change the page, but tap on it so that you do a search. I think that thing is called Today, not, at least in my opinion, it's called, it's
You're
not
right.
0, it's Today. So do a search for the Today page, and you should be able to find that again fairly easily. Now with the widget part of that problem, when I set up widgets, I go way past everything until I just hear the widget. Like if I'm looking for the battery widget, there's battery stack, there's battery suggested, there's battery blah 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 blah. When you just hear battery widget, then add it to your home screen. And
this is Sarah. It
Sarah.
didn't exist. It absolutely did not exist. I went through it. I did it over and over and over again. And the only way I could find the battery app or widget again was on the Today page.
Yeah. And that's it. And the other thing that you can do to initiate the whole widget thing, you probably know this, but just for giggles here, what I always do is I double tap and hold on my home screen and push up, and it says edit. And then it says add widget. And then you usually get a list of widgets. And if you go way down past all the mumbo jumbo, you get to just the plain sounding widgets. And it should be there. The other thing to do is when you're in the widgets that you have, flick up with your finger. It should say next widget or previous widget, right?
Oh, wait, say that one again.
When say you have a notes widget and a battery widget and a the I don't know, messages or something. Then you just flick up when you're in the notes widget, the first widget. If you flick up, it should say go to next widget at some point.
This is Sarah. That's if you have a stack. But I haven't been able to create a stack yet. I'm trying to do it with my specific widgets in order to create some room on my homepage.
Let me check it out for tomorrow.
Thank you.
I will check it out, and I've been meaning to actually do a thing on widgets because they're really kind of weird. But if once you get used to them, they're really they're absolutely essential. So let me check on it and call you back.
All right.
Yeah.
Jerry,
this is Sarah.
If you do want to do a demo, Jerry, then let iBUG today at gmail.com know.
I sure will.
Maybe you can get onto one of our workshops.
Sure will.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Sarah. Good luck with those widgets, and good luck finding your 0 page.
And nothing works all of the time.
Right.
That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But when it disappears, you need it.
Yeah. Right. It disappears for good.
Okay, D.
All right. This is it's 9:55 or 8:55. We have time for another couple of questions. Who's up?
D.
I'm sorry, Dee. Go ahead.
Yeah. One time a few months ago, I heard somebody, and I don't remember who it was on here, made the comment that the Hilo app had become very accessible.
Hilo.
And I'd just love for that person maybe to come on and do a demo or something about the Hilo app. I have not had any success in even getting into it.
Okay. Anybody familiar or know what the Hilo app is? Let's start there.
Well, I know what it is.
I know, but I'm wondering if anyone, maybe
Okay.
we'll find out who that person is.
Okay.
Who knows about the Hilo app? Oh, I hear nothing. Dee, what is it, by the way?
Well, Hilo app is one of these apps that like your doctor's offices and hospitals use.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people are familiar with My Chart.
Right, kind of like a patient portal.
Right, that's what they call them, is a patient portal or a patient pain in the
Right.
heart.
Exactly. That's it. We'll keep it there for now.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It's a pain in my heart.
Anybody familiar with Hilo for medical patient information? We're coming up empty again, Dee.
Gee, money. Yeah, that's because My Chart is much better.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, thank you,
All
Pete.
right, thanks, Dee. Good to hear your voice again. Welcome back.
Thanks again.
All right, anybody with a last minute question? We are kind of getting towards the top of the hour. We got a quick question in us. Any comments? Any good apps that people have
This
found?
is Ed.
Yeah, Ed.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
So I go up through my pages and I go past page 3 and I drop into the library.
Okay.
How do I get out? I've gone through that back and
All right.
forth, up and down, and I can't figure out how to get back down to page 3.
Ed is trapped, everybody.
This is
We
Deb.
had Sarah was trapped without a home page, without a zero page. Now Ed is actually trapped in the apps library. Go ahead, Deb.
So the way I get out of it is I just use the gesture to go to the home screen.
Yeah,
Just
the
swipe
slide
up from the
with one
bottom.
finger.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have a home button on your phone, Ed? What phone are you have?
I've got a 2022. Yeah,
With
home
the
button.
home
Yeah,
button? Probably the home
Yeah.
button would get you out. Have you
Yep.
tried that? Yep.
really. Okay.
Right there
I
in
try not
front
to
of you.
touch my. I try not to touch my phone. I use my keyboard, but I
Oh,
guess I could reach over and touch
there's
that phone
probably
too.
a
Yeah.
keyboard equivalent. I just don't know what it is.
This
Good
is
luck,
John.
Ed.
Okay.
Yes, John, real quick, sir.
So if your focus is on the library, as long as you're not on like the left to the right side, you can do play around with the 3-finger gestures. Like either go, I think it's 3-finger left to right
Swipe
is
right,
previous.
yeah, from left to right.
And then for the keyboard command, you play around with, I think it's, I don't know if it's option left arrow or right arrow. I get it mixed up, but try one of the option plus
go.
left or right.
All righty.
Okay. Thanks,
Thanks,
John.
John. And speaking of Ed, Ed will be hosting, facilitating, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right, Ed? Our AfterBuzz tonight, which is coming up in a mere few short minutes. But before we go, I'd like to remind everybody what we've got on our agenda in iBUG this week. For the remainder of tonight, we will be enjoying a relaxation time frame where we can chat and have fun with our friends and family from iBUG with the AfterBuzz. Tomorrow night, that's Tuesday the 25th from 5 until 6 Central, we have the iBUG Mini Buzz, all things hardware related, including the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. All questions are welcome on that topic. And then later tomorrow night from 7 to 9, we've got Mac and Talk for any questions or issues you might have with your Mac. Nothing Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday if you're going in order. And then we have our Friday night at the movies, Friday night at the virtual movies coming up Friday, and the time in Central Time starts at 7 o'clock. We start with Argle Bargle, name that tune, Joke Time. The movie starts at 8 o'clock Central Time. And the movie this week is, who wants to remind me? I'm afraid I have forgotten it already.
Thelma and
Thelma
Louise.
and Louise.
Thelma and Louise. Thank you very much. My mind is full of other things. That movie will start at 8 p.m. Central Time, to be followed by a discussion of what we thought about the movie. And after that, we will have movie trivia. So that's what's on our plate. And again, on April 5th, first Saturday in April, Melodies and Memories. You are all welcome. We have a good time. So with that, I'm going to ask Julie to stop the recording if it isn't already. Jules, you got the duty.